Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we break down the latest news and current events. I'm your host, Walter. Today, we're looking at a series of stories that have been making headlines around the world. First up, a tragic accident in Stockholm, Sweden, where a bus crash has resulted in the loss of 3 lives, leaving many more injured. Our thoughts are with the families and loved ones of those affected by this terrible incident. In other news, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is facing pressure after a budget rewrite, which has led to rifts within his party. This comes as US President Donald Trump prepares to visit London, where he's expected to meet with Prime Minister Starmer. Meanwhile, President Trump is also making headlines for his threat to sue the BBC for up to $5 billion over an edited video of one of his speeches. The BBC has apologized for the edit but rejects any claim of defamation. We'll be keeping a close eye on this developing story. Additionally, Médecins Sans Frontières, or MSF, has resumed its rescue operations in the Mediterranean after a recent disaster resulted in the loss of 42 lives. This highlights the ongoing migrant crisis and the need for continued support and action from governments and organizations around the world. Lastly, in an interview, UK politician Emily Thornberry discussed the importance of trustworthy news sources, stating that the BBC remains a source of truth and reliability in a world filled with disinformation. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're diving into a fascinating story about the evolving defense landscape in Europe, particularly the collaboration between the European Union and Ukraine. As we explore this topic, it's essential to acknowledge the complexities and nuances involved. The EU and Ukraine have been strengthening their ties with a significant focus on defense integration. The recent agreement allowing Ukrainian businesses to access the European Defense Fund marks a substantial step forward in this partnership. This development has the potential to enhance interoperability between European and Ukrainian defenses, ultimately contributing to the security of the continent. Experts like Dr. Alexandra Chinchilla and Dr. Alexandra Chinchilla's counterpart, Dr. Kalla Budgenite, Froli, emphasize the mutual benefits of this cooperation. Ukraine gains practical anchoring within Europe, while European states gain access to Ukrainian innovation, operational experience, and lessons drawn from real-time battlefield experience. The sharing of technology and information has already yielded promising results. The Ukrainians have developed effective drones, which have been used to combat Russia's ongoing invasion. The EU's commitment to spending $2 billion on Ukrainian drones demonstrates the value they place on Ukraine's expertise in this area. However, it's crucial to address the challenges associated with burden sharing and defense issues across Europe. Many Europeans have expressed concerns about the need for a more unified and robust defense strategy. By engaging with Ukraine, the EU may be able to establish a stronger, more defense-ready continent. As we consider the implications of this partnership, it's essential to maintain a balanced perspective, acknowledging both the opportunities and the complexities involved. The collaboration between the EU and Ukraine has the potential to reshape Europe's defense architecture, making it more agile and forward-looking. Welcome back to Concrete Block. As we wrap up today's show, we're going to dive into a developing story that's been making headlines around the world. The United States has been increasing its military presence in the Caribbean, and tensions with Venezuela are escalating. According to reports, the USS Gerald R. Ford, the world's largest aircraft carrier, is set to arrive in the Northern Caribbean on Sunday, joining 15,000 service members, including 2,000 Marines aboard an amphibious assault ship. Now, a USS Gerald R. Ford official has stated that the table is being set for possible military action against Venezuela, with administration officials holding high-level meetings with members of Congress and foreign leaders. The U.S. has already conducted 20 strikes on boats in the region, claiming they were ferrying drugs trafficked from Venezuela. However, some lawmakers are worried that President Trump is dragging the U.S. into war with Venezuela. It's worth noting that the situation is complex, with multiple factors at play. The U.S. government has set a $50 million reward for the arrest of Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro, and the country's own forces are on high alert. While some see the increased military presence as a pressure tactic to stop drugs from pouring into the U.S., Others question the legality and goal of the strikes. In a recent statement, President Trump said he has sort of made up his mind about whether to launch an attack, but didn't provide further details. The situation remains uncertain, with many waiting to see how it will unfold. As we close out today's show, it's essential to remember that this is a developing story, and we'll continue to bring you updates as more information becomes available. It's crucial to stay informed about global events and their potential impact on our world. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed.